Hello guys, it's been 11 days since I posted on YouTube. Been super busy, tons of different stuff going on with the business, and today's video is just going to be me talking about the behind the scenes of me growing the Amazon business from 0 to 100K per month. Where we last left off was about doing 1K a day. You know, we had 1.5K days, 1.8K days, 1.3K days, and those numbers aren't anything huge, to be completely honest with you, but they're still good nonetheless, especially within the time frame that we've been able to get, to those numbers in. So what I'm gonna get into today is the good that's been happening, the bad, all the issues that I've been dealing with as far as business, and with this business specifically, good things that has happened, some tips I can give you guys. And we're gonna start off with the good and then we'll get into the bad later. So as of right now, numbers have decreased. So we're probably doing around $500 a day. And I'm not too worried about that because we have tons of product that we're gonna send in. As soon as we send it in, numbers are gonna shoot up, and it's just really understanding the cycle. Since we're still in the beginning phases, I'm trying to understand, okay, I need to be getting inventory in at this rate so that way we can consistently be doing these days. The numbers that I was doing, all I had to do was send out one, fairly, not even that big of a shipment, like 2 pallets, and I just sit back, don't need to really do anything at all, and the sales just come in 1K a day, 1K a day, 1K a day. So, and even that, like doing those kind of numbers, I wasn't even prepping during that whole time while we were getting sales, because I was just analyzing, watching, okay, are we selling through this SKU? Is this gonna perform well? Is this gonna do well? Should we stop selling this item? And just understanding the numbers. So understanding the numbers is an extreme key. I could, simply just be sending in tons and tons of product without going back, looking and seeing what's performing well, what am I selling through and not. And I could just simply, place purchase orders and keep investing into more product, without understanding my business and the circumstances right now. So that's why numbers aren't as high recently. If I check right now, just to be transparent, let's see. Today we're at 14 units, 152 in sales. In the last 30 days, we're at 18.86K US dollars. And that's not high, but like I said, I'm not worried because I know that we're gonna be able to, quickly scale and just send in product, and then numbers are just gonna shoot back up because I went back and tested, because I took the time to see what's gonna perform well. So I haven't been placing huge purchase orders, but I have been placing a few purchase orders here and there, being more selective. So we're gonna get right into the good. So I placed a purchase order. We received tons of inventory of a SKU that I needed to restock on, around 400 units, and we're gonna be making $8 to $9 profit per unit. So you guys can do the math. That's like $8 profit per unit times 400, 3,200 in gross profit, or 9 would be 3,600 in gross profit. So the point is that's just one SKU. We have multiple SKUs. I just have to prep them all and get them sent. I should be sending all this inventory that I have now into Amazon on Monday. And then we also received another pallet yesterday. And this pallet, this is where I'm gonna give you guys some game about what happened yesterday. So I have this trucking or freight company that I work with. It's owned by this guy and his cousin. And basically in, around the state, they're always delivering. So they're always picking up from these distributors, delivering, shipping. They're going to all these different companies. So logically, when you think about it, you can instantly tell yourself, okay, these people are already gonna know all the distributors. It's just like the same people that deliver to Target. Like they're picking up from these huge distributors or manufacturers, whatever it is, and they're delivering to Target. Now, they know where Target buys their products from. And with this information, if they were smart, they would be making probably way more money than they make at what they're doing right now, but they don't. So what my approach is I always like to approach something as they're not going to be willing to give you information unless they're going to get something out of it. So always approach the situation as if you're doing something good for them And then they're gonna, obviously they're gonna think it's a no-brainer. Why would I not help you out? Because I'm gonna be getting something in return for it. It's like me telling you, the viewer, right now, I'm gonna give you $100 if you just help me out with this. You're gonna be like, well, okay. And you don't even care that much about the information you're gonna give me because you aren't even in that field. But basically the point is, the freight company called me up. I'm here to deliver your pallet. Answer the phone, boom. And I'm thinking like, okay, this guy seems chill. Let me just ask. So what I say is, start the conversation. You're probably delivering pallets, all the time. So we want to be ordering more and get more pallets in, but we also, want to find more people to work with. So what I say is, who do you usually pick up from, or what distributors do you work with, like directly? What distributors do you usually pick up from? Like, who are your customers buying from? And he just says, oh yeah, sure, I'll tell you them, because I'm telling him we're going to be ordering more pallets. So if you're already picking up from these places, then you're just going to be making more money, because if we order more pallets and you're picking it up for us, then I'm going to be paying you more because you're doing more work for me. So in the back of this guy's head, he's like, oh yeah, for sure, I'm going to just tell him because it makes sense. So all I did was ask, and he gave me 2 distributors, and they were very, very high quality. Like, these distributors are probably better than, they're probably in my top 2 distributors. And this one distributor he gave me will probably be the best distributor I ever work with. Like, this one distributor he gave me is probably going to be my top distributor. And the distributor that he gave me, I already knew of, but I never dug into it because I thought that it was a low quality distributor. Until I got on the phone, until I called, until I spoke with a salesperson, I didn't understand their company. So I was like, okay, just skip this. It was kind of one of those distributors where it's like, you just instantly write them off, but you didn't dive in deep enough to see. And once I called, once I dove in deeper, once I looked through their products, instantly, like, tons of profitable leads, tons and tons and tons. So this one conversation with this freight company guy will probably make me hundreds of thousands in profit for a lifetime consistently, just from this one connection. And now the other distributor was also high quality, but not as high quality as the other one that I just talked about. But this distributor actually manufactures some brands. So this is also a huge connection, because their pricing is going to be extremely competitive compared to just a wholesaler or distributor. And they also distribute products for large name brands as well. So these 2 opportunities came from one simple conversation. And if I was to say, okay, let me start investing more capital into all these products, with the information that I got and with the research that I've done, work that I've done, I could easily spend as much as I want with this one distributor and instantly be doing 10K days right away if I had the capital to just do that. But obviously right now I'm not going to do that, because we're going to get into some of the things that have happened that aren't as good. So that's the main big thing that has happened. We got tons of profitable inventory, still, figuring out the systems. We've also, some more good news is I'm potentially deciding the route of either working with the prep center or getting my own warehouse and hiring employees. Now that's not going to be soon. I mean, it could be pretty soon, like maybe 2 months, but within the next 6 to 8 months, that's probably where we're going to be at, either one of those. But I've had Zoom meetings, met with the company. They're shipping out over 2 million orders a month. Super, high quality. They have tons of warehouse space across the country. So could be, a potential thing, which if I go with the prep center route, then profits are gonna decrease most likely, because I'm not going to be doing the prep. But we could be able to have a business in, all the different states and be remote. So I could just move to Brickell or something like that if I want. But now let's just get into the bad news, the bad things that have happened, which always happen in business. So one product that I went super deep on. I went super deep on this product because it was performing extremely well. Like, the sales per month were insane. Amazon wasn't on the listing. The price was super high on Amazon, and it was still selling extremely. And the product was actually like kind of going viral on social media as well. Like, kind of, I'm pretty sure. So then what had happened is I got so many units of this product. The first mistake that I made is when I went to my supplier, I probably sounded a little too desperate because the product was out of stock on their side. They ended up having one pallet left over that they found, and I was able to get access to it. And once I got that pallet, they didn't have it. But they did have a product that was exactly the same for less that I could have sold on the listing, which you guys will understand if you're in the Amazon space. It had the same label, it had just a different looking label, and it was the same product and everything, but it was less. And that kind of happens in the manufacturing process. If they change the label, if they update the product, but it doesn't really matter because on the reviews of the product, people were sending in the cheaper product that I could have just bought, but I didn't. And I bought the more expensive one because it matched the listing and everything like that. But that's not really like the big issue. What had happened is I was getting sales every now and then on that listing at a high price. So I was making great profit margin. But I instantly quickly realized, like, I am not winning the buy box at all on this listing. Like, I should be already like selling tons of units per day and all this. And this was kind of right, like, when we first got started with the journey. Not first got started, but probably around like 60 days in. And I wasn't getting the buy box, so I wasn't selling through, which I should have been. And the issue with that is that the people that were winning the buy box didn't even have crazy high like reviews or anything like that. They were just winning it and winning it and winning it, and I couldn't win. Like, I would only get a sale every now and then, but the profit margin was so good that I was like, okay, I'll just wait, because I wasn't paying attention to the Keepa graph and the offer count, and also I wasn't paying attention to the sales per month were slowly dropping. So what had ended up happening is right now I'm in the situation where I have so many of these units here at the house. I have so many units of this product, and it's not even profitable right now. I probably have like, I don't even know, it's either in the range of 700 to 1,000 units. So it's not too bad, but this item was like more expensive than the average item, so that's another downside. So it's a lot of capital that's being tied up in this product. That's just gonna go to show you, like, not every product is an extreme winner. Now, what I could do is just send it all into Amazon, liquidate it all, lose on it, or I could wait because Q4 sales might increase and the price of the items usually increase during Q4 and everything like that. But even if I was to just liquidate it all, lose, I would still make more. I would still basically recoup all the loss and make more from that one purchase order, that one product that I talked about, how I got 400 units of it just because that product is so profitable. So not everything is a win, but I mean, there's a lot of capital invested in this item, which I was expecting to make way more profit on, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So that shows the downside. There's downsides in this business, and you have to be willing to, take risks and even lose sometimes. I'm just telling you guys that this product I made a bad buy on. So that's that situation. Now, the next situation that's probably worse than this is that there is a huge issue with Amex. So as you guys have seen, I've been posting like I spend. So I put the balance on my Plum card over $20,000, which I don't invest capital on these cards that I can't cover. But I'm not gonna pay off a card in full that's 0% APR when I only need to make the minimum payment. And I was uneducated, so that's the mistake that I made, is I'm just thinking in my head like, okay, if I just make the minimum payment, all I'm thinking about is that, well, there's no interest, so it doesn't really matter. But I talked to some guys in the industry, and come to find out, me paying the minimum payment makes me a risk because my balance is so high. So American Express, in their head, even though I could pay the balance in full, since I paid the minimum payment, in their head they're like, wait, this guy might take our money. So I pay the minimum payment, right? Amex, here's the Amex cards I have. Amex Gold, Amex Platinum or Green, and then Amex Blue, and then Amex Plum. Amex Plum is the main one. So I have so many emails that I'm not going through all of them. So I come to find out, okay, Amex Blue, like the limit decreased. So I'm just like, what? But whatever, I don't really care about that card because I'm not really placing purchase orders on it. And then here's where it's like, what the hell is going on? The Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum, American Express limits the cards, which is terrible because these are supposed to be no preset spending limit, which means it's not no limit at all, but it's no preset spending limit. So if I spend 7K on the card and then I pay off 7K, they're gonna give me like 9K, and then I spend 9K, pay off 9K, they're gonna give me like 12K, and it just increases, which is much better than a hard limit of like 5K, because the more you're scaling your business, the more you're able to spend, and basically you're able to pay it off, and then it grows bigger and bigger. This is like a key to basically winning in the game. So they limited the gold and the platinum. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? Because I have no issue paying it off, but the thing is like, once those limits hit, then it's like going back to scaling and placing these large purchase orders is going to be much harder, because I don't want to be investing for my own capital. I'd rather use credit to leverage that, to place purchase orders, sell through the inventory, collect the profit, and then have infinite capital to spend. Basically, if you know what you're doing and you're doing it correctly, you technically have infinite capital to spend. So here's what happens is, now I'm like, okay, at least we have the plum still, and the plum is at over 20K on the balance right now. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, gold and platinum and blue limits all decreased, and then the platinum and the gold, they went from no limit to now limits. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, I don't really care, because the plum is the main one. I wasn't able to even spend like crazy amounts on the gold and the platinum yet, because I haven't been building up that no preset spending limit. I haven't been like spending a lot and then paying it off a lot. I've only been doing that on the plum. So I'm just like, okay, as long as the plum's good, whatever, because I'm going to pay big amounts on the plum and then just build that limit up to like 30, 40, 50, 60, 100K and continue from there. So everything's going good. I'm placing purchase orders now from other cards or like main personal accounts. And what happened is that I get an email from American Express, and American Express limits the plum card, and this is like 1 month later, and I'm just like, bro, there's no way right now. The balance on the card is over 20K. They put my limit to 3K. So that means that my available credit limit is like negative 17K, which is absolutely terrible. I'm not gonna cuss on this video, but it's absolutely terrible. So I'm just like, are you serious right now? It's not about the limits, because I'm able to pay them off, or I'm able to pay the balances off, I mean. But it's about, once you get hit with the limits, it's hard to get back to no preset spending limit. So what had happened is, all this stuff happens. I'm getting paid by Amazon. So basically, like, all the cash is turning over, getting big payouts, bigger payouts, you know, 7K payout or 5K payout, 4K payout, whatever it is. Yeah, I got a 7K payout, and then the other day I even got like a 4.3K payout. So those two. And then what had happened is, so what I could do is appeal the decision. So I start to think, and I'm like, how is the best way to go about this? So what I do is I appeal all the decisions. But first I start off with the gold, then the green, then the blue, then the plum, and then the blue. So gold, green, Gold, green, plum blue. Gold, green, plum blue, yeah. So what's happening now is I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. And what happened is I left the gym one day, right? I was coming out of the gym, I'm going on the Amex app, and I'm just like, thank God. I'm literally like, thank God. Because I go on the Amex app, gold, plum, platinum, no preset spending limit for all the cards. And I'm just like, there's no way. So I go to charge my Tesla. I plug in the charger. I go back to check again. Limits back on the card. I call American Express and they tell me it was just a glitch. So I'm just so mad right now. So then like a few days pass and then I appeal in that order that I told you guys. We'll go quickly with this. So Amex Gold card. I have to show them bank statements in order to get this stuff taken off. So I have multiple different banks, but I connect one of the banks that I get paid out by Amazon to. So it's all connected. Connect that. Give them full access to my bank account, asking me the assets, all this different stuff. Amex Gold, instantly, no preset spending limit. And I'm like, yes, we're locked in, finally. So Amex Gold, no preset spending limit. So now we can just crush on this card now. So now what I'm doing on this card is just maxing spend, paying it off. So that one's good. Then the green card, it's weird what they did. So they gave me a hard limit, but the hard limit was way higher than I've been spending on that card ever spent on it. Higher, triple the max the balance has ever been. So even though they gave me a hard limit, I'm kind of like, okay, that's cool because I don't really care because I already have one no preset spending limit. And then this card is even higher than before. So me spending this amount, by the time I'm spending this much on this card, if I even am, I'm already gonna be, probably able to get it to no preset spending limit. So this is good. So both of those good, locked in, which is great news. And then I'm gonna talk about the plum last. Then the blue card, they just put it back to the limit that it was before. They automatically approved that. Now, those three, I'm like, good news, perfect. Plum card. They literally, this might have been where I went wrong, because with the plum card, the lady that works at American Express accidentally did an appeal without me asking, because I was calling all day so many different times, and she initiated an appeal without me asking. So I was like, no, I never did that. So basically, come time to do the actual appeal, and you can only do one. I do the appeal, and it wasn't letting me do the appeal because it was trying to make me wait 4 days. So wait. The guy finds a way around it after a few days, 2 days before it was gonna be able to be done. And then I do the appeal, and they don't change the limit at all. Limit still 3K with balance at over 20K. And I'm just like, bro, there's no way. How are you gonna give me the same limit when I've paid off over literally way more than that and still limited? But whatever. The point being is that's the bad news. Which it's not too bad because they'll probably see that I'm gonna pay off a huge amount, coming up in the next few days, I'm gonna pay off a huge amount and everything like that. And then maybe I'll get the no preset spending limit back. But whether we do, whether we don't, doesn't matter because we have higher limits now on those other mains. And as long as we have one card that has no preset spending limit, we're able to spend, build, and then keep, growing that to where we'll be able to, be spending a ton on inventory. Take all this information as you will with, calculated risk. I'm not doing anything that I can't afford to risk. I'm not doing anything that is crazy out of the ordinary compared to the capital that I have. So don't do this if you don't have capital. That's the bad news. So what I have to do now, as this video wraps up and we finish it, is I have to prep a ton of inventory. We have so many high quality leads, guys, which is amazing. I'm even gonna probably start selling some, you know, products to you guys, just straight from my distributors to you guys, and maybe I'll, you know, obviously I'm gonna up the price a little bit so I make some profit, but then give it to you guys so you guys can make, you know, a good amount of profit. So if you're interested in that, DM me on X at Day the CEO or Instagram at Day Renema, and I'll let you guys know. There's gonna be minimum order quantities of $3,000, but this was just an update of everything that's been going on. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.